So imperialism in Africa is our new topic that we are going to cover today. So here we will see why Africa has been imperialized. It means it has been conquered by a country and make colonies there. Okay. So what were the reason for imperialism in Africa? We will cover this topic, and here we will find that Africa is a dark continent. Secondly, we will also get to know about the European exploration in Africa, and then political instability was going on in Africa. After that, European nation raced to capture Africa, and finally scramble for Africa. So this is our topic. Let us start. Imperialism in Africa. So imperialism in Africa unfolded as a series of major events that resulted in the colonization and division of continents. Okay. So while imperialism was going on in Africa, we will see some major events that resulted in the colonization. It means conquering of the particular area of Africa. Okay, and the division of the continent, and how the Africa has been divided among the countries to the other countries. It means most of the country have been dominated Africa. So this we will see here. Okay, the stages of development of imperialism in Africa, how it started and how the whole process had got done. So first of all is the Africa as a dark continent. Okay, so the other name is that Africa is also known as dark continent. So you might have get this question in your GK also or in your MCQs also. So Africa was known as dark continent as it was unexplored for a long time. So it was unexplored. People don't know about Africa, the other continent. The people of the other continent, they don't know about Africa. So that's why Africa was given one new name also, that is dark continent. Since it was dark, it means no one know about it. Okay, so it was unexplored for a long time. Very little information was available about this continent to the other continent, to the other countries. Due to its geographical features, that is largest desert, high plateau regions, humid climate, that is very hot, was a formidable obstacle to explore the continent. So first of all, what happened? Africa was unknown to the people of the other continent. Okay, why? Because it has a very tough geographical features where you can find largest desert are there, then humid climate is there. Due to this, what happened? It has remained just unexplored for a longer time. Okay, even though imperialism happened in Africa. So see how European exploration in Africa. So now European came in Africa. They just explored, and via sea route they used to come in Africa. Now they landed in Africa and they came to know about Africa. So the age of exploration or age of discovery that began in early 15th century involved European explorer using their navigation skills to travel the world. Okay, so now the European explorers are very good in their navigation skill. It means they know where they are and they have understanding where they are, where they have come and where they need to go, right, in the sea. So due to their navigation skill, they are traveling the world. Okay, and the missionaries and the explorers were the first to venture into the interior of Africa. So since the missionaries have also one motive to just spread Christianity, and explorer want to discover new land. So this group of people were the first to venture into the interior of Africa. So they landed into the interior of Africa. Okay, they came to know about Africa. They now discovered an immense treasure of ivory, gold, diamond, timber, and people who could be made slaves. So now what happened? These European people, they came to know about that Africa is a rich resources of natural thing. Okay, where they are find a treasure, it means a very vast amount of things are there. Natural resources are there, that is ivory, gold, diamond, and timber. And not only this, they also understand that since Africa is very weak country, also politically weak, they can make slaves also. Okay, so slave system was also going on. So in this way, the people discovered about Africa. Third, political instability in Africa. Okay, Africa had very weak political system at that time. So it means the government has very limited power, and it was inefficiency of government also. They can't able to use proper national policies. So Africa had a weak political systems and backward economy and society, as well as weak army. So even though it was rich in natural resources, but it was very politically weak. backward economy and society was also very, as well as very weak, and a very weak army was also there. Okay, if someone invaded there, then they may just can't able to fight properly. So even though it was rich in natural resources, but due to weak governance and ineffective resource management, contribute to poverty in Africa. Okay. So see, they have a good natural resources, but the government, inefficiency of the government and ineffective resource management. It means no proper optimization of the resource. So how to allocate it, how to utilize it. So no proper allocation, optimization was there. Due to this, what happened? Poverty was there in Africa. Okay. So poverty was there in Africa. Fourth point, European nation race to capture Africa. Now since European nation have known about Africa and its rich natural resources, there was a race among the countries to just capture Africa. A competition started among the European nation to gain power, prestige, as well as raw material and market for their manufactured good. So a race was, it means people, the other countries were fighting among themselves and they were running after to capture Africa, because they know that it is the country is rich in raw material. Not only this, they can also get a market for their manufactured goods. Okay, so whatever the goods they are converting into finished good, they will sell there in their African markets. So till 1875, European possessions in Africa were limited to some forts and trading posts along the coast and a few small colonies. So till 1875, what happened? European, just whatever the just position was there in Africa, were limited to some forts and trading outposts. Actually, trading outposts are there along the coast where the people exchange their goods. Okay. So, and a few colonies. So, till 1875, Europeans just have very small control on the Africa. But between 1880 and 1910, the whole Africa was divided amongst the European. So, from 1880 to 1910, what happened? Whole Africa was divided among the Europeans. So, other countries also came and they dominated. They just captured Africa. Okay. Finally, scramble for Africa. So what is scramble for Africa? The scramble for Africa is the term that historians use to refer to the expansion of European empires into Africa. So expansion of European empires. So now European empire has been extended into Africa, and that term is known as scramble for Africa. The scramble for Africa is considered to have occurred from approximately 1870 until the outbreak of World War in 1914. It means they are just started to capture the Africa from 1870 onward till 1914, when the first World War outbreak. During this year, what did they do? Almost all the Africa came under the control of major European powers. Okay, almost all the Africa have been controlled by the major European powers, including Britain, France, Germany, Belgium, Italy, Portugal, and Spain. So in this way, what happened? The whole Africa has been captured by the European powers. Okay, and finally, the sixth reason is the slave trade. So an interesting feature about imperialism was the slave trade in Africa. Okay, so the Europeans started importing slaves from Africa to work on the plantation in their colonies in America. So what happened? They just buy here the slave, the people, and then sell it. Selling a people was going on as a slave. Now they will take the slave to their own country. So Europeans started to import the slaves from Africa to work on the plantation in their colonies in America. So there was a regular slave market in Lisbon, the capital of Portugal, between 1500 and 1800. Nearly 15 million Africans were captured and sold as slaves. So in this way, the imperialism begin in Africa. These are the stages. So first of all, Africa was unknown to the people, to the other continent. Then European explored them. After that, politically instability was there Africa, due to which the other countries just dominate them and capture them. Then European nations just begin to capture Africa, scramble for Africa, and then the slave trade was also there. Okay, slave trade was also there. And finally, the whole Africa has been captured by the European power. So imperialism disrupted traditional African way of life, political organization, and social norms. So due to imperialism, what happened? The traditional way of life of Africa, then the political organization of Africa and social norms, the social culture of the Africa has been disturbed. So this is the topic that we have covered, how the imperialism, the stages of development of imperialism in Africa. I hope this topic has been clear to you. So let us meet with the next topic in the next video.